And just like that, we're back. Took a couple weeks off to go celebrate my dad's 70th birthday and retirement and Thanksgiving. And now I'm back to work on the boat. Oregon was nice. It was a lot colder than it is here. It's nice to come back here and have it be 70 degrees. Yeah, I feel like I lost all momentum though. It's really easy to just sit here and look at all there is to do and all of like the big mess and just stare at it. Yep. But it's not too bad. Hopefully, after the Home Depot trip coming back and started, I get like a really good momentum rolling again because we definitely need to make some big progress fast. Do you have anything to add, Savannah? She hasn't been very talkative lately. I got the drawer for the fridge in and working, which is amazing to me because I've never hung a drawer. This is 2 tracks, and it actually seems to work really well. That's pretty awesome. And I have stood on it and it didn't break. And then we're adding a little storage compartment back in here behind it too. Since I have water and food and everything on the boat, I can just like work here forever. Like I'd never have to leave. This is where the sleeping happens. The extra plastic is because there was a lot of fiberglass, itchy fiberglass dust everywhere. So that's just an extra layer of protection. There's also this initial layer of protection. So it's like late. I don't know. I don't even know what time it is. It doesn't matter. I'm not asleep, so I should be working. Just sleeping and working and eating. It's crazy. So I moved the fridge into the drawer where it's going to go. So that's cool. Got some more space. Okay, we may have found the source of the smell. This area right here is not draining. You can't see it real well, but there's like gross water down in there. There's a liquid there, but yeah, this is definitely where the mold and the diesel stink is coming from. You can see the bottoms of these. That's all mold. Gray. Ooh, fuzzy. We got fuzzy gray. Cool. Different flavors of mold. So I'm back here looking at the rotten out hole, looking at repairing this. I'm going to have to replace this board right here. It's rotten out. And then I need to replace that wall, but it's like wet. It had to have been getting wet. It's too wet for just residual wet. So I need to figure out how and where that water's coming from. The gravity of how much I have to get done in the next couple weeks really hit me. It feels, does feel a little overwhelming. Gonna have to make a lot of progress every day. Nothing so satisfying as when you cut out that board and then it slips perfectly into place. And it just slips perfectly into place. And it just slips perfectly into place. Perfect. Perfection. There's an osprey eating a fish up on that person's mast. Oh man. Their poor boat. So I'm pretty sure that anytime anyone's done any electrical work in this boat in the past, they just leave the old wires there. Because I just had to mess with this bundle of wires in the corner so that I could actually get the piece of plywood in where I wanted it. I need to get those wires out of the way. There's about 10 wires in that cluster, and 3 of them were hooked up to something. I feel like it's worth acknowledging that there's just a whole bunch of like burned, melted parts. This is me admitting defeat. I saved all this flooring because I thought it'd be really cool to use it for like the front of the kitchen cabinets or like, I don't know, put it somewhere, like reuse it somewhere. I thought that would just be really cool, but it's so moldy. Like the primary source of mold smell in the boat now is the bilge, like underneath the companionway ladder. It's really moldy down there. And then this stack of flooring that's left, like it's just so moldy. We have some friends that said that they're gonna come stay on the boat with us at some point, and they just had a little baby, and so I want this to be like a not moldy, good, safe place, pleasant place for them and their baby to be when they come visit. And like my dad has really bad allergies to mold, and it'd be really cool if he could come stay. So I'm trying to minimize the mold, painting everything to try and cut down on the mold smell. And also by painting the fiberglass there, like the hull of the boat, it seems to help a lot with condensation to just reduce the amount of moisture that's in there, also to fight mold. Because I really do want it to, like, you come on the boat and it smells good in here. Like, it doesn't smell like diesel, it doesn't smell like mold. So I'm putting a lot of work into painting everywhere. It's nice because it kind of shows me where I've cleaned too. It's like, oh, if I haven't painted this yet, I either just cleaned it and I'm about to paint it, or it needs to get cleaned. So it's time for me to dive into that a little bit. I just want to get all this cleaned up under here so I can get all cleaned out and ready to paint it. Of course, I've got to get everything messed up and unmessed up in time to turn the power back on this evening, where I won't have any lights. Hey, not connected to anything. We're off to a great start. Oh, not connected to anything. Is this reminding you of anything? The electrical and the plumbing are similar in that aspect, I guess. Okay, we're just gonna kind of dig in. Cool. That wasn't connected to anything at both ends. And this was just hanging out back here, like touching stuff back here. It's one of those, like, I didn't know that was there, so our boat didn't burn down, but now that I know it's there, there's no way I could get away with it. So definitely get all that taken care of before it gets dark and I want to turn the power back on. I can't believe this boat never burned down. I cannot believe I just said that. I've been doing everything I can to try and get this wire right here. I've been trying to get this wire pulled out and I can't get it to move. I've cut all the zip ties. I'm like, why is this thing not moving? And it's because it is securely melted to this other cluster of wires right here. All these are melted together. Eating another fish. Since I don't have any power, I'm having jalapeno ranch ruffles and margarita for dinner, like a responsible adult. Would you believe me if I told you that I think everything that worked before is still gonna work? About to go hook up the power and see if anything catches on fire. Nothing seems very on fire. Switch our main AC on. There we go. That breaker's just not very good. Sometimes when you flick it on, it doesn't really come on. So now, yay! So the issue is just that the main breaker for the AC power has to get flicked a lot of times before it actually latches. Doesn't want to latch, even when there's nothing powering it. Savannah looks pretty happy to have power back. I've eaten a real dinner. Now the next task is getting this big leaky water heater out. You can see it's doing its fair share of leaking down there. Whew. Okay. The hope is that I can pick this thing up high enough to slide this board underneath it. Get the back up, tip it like this, pull it this way, and then it will be free from this edge. Okay. Oh yeah, it's happening. It's all coming together. Whew. Ugh. Well, that just happened. I feel like I heard a lot of stuff break, but I don't see anything broken. Ow. Something stabbed me. I was just gonna say I have to be careful with this thing because it's heavy enough if I dropped it I could really hurt myself or the boat. Okay, new plan. We'll get it set on the stairs. And then I'll go around it. And then I'll work it up one more step. And then I'll work it up one more step. You could not ask for a nicer day. Man, it is just perfect out here. Whew. Man, that thing was heavy. I started working on bailing some of the water out last night. See that in buckets? But there's still a lot more down there to get soaked up and cleaned out. Admit it, you're impressed. So what's happened is, that's my plan. If anything exciting's about to happen, or is going to happen, it's going to happen right now, right here. You okay over there, Savannah? You're looking a little deflated. I dipped my beard in paint. Especially with all the, I don't know what that was. Sounded big though. I rate this experience 3 out of 5 wows.